So, like the title says, I'm going to be talking about the pros and cons of being a little person, and I have 5 for each. I try to break it up into 5 main points, I guess. And if you didn't know, oh my goodness, I love this song. If you didn't know, I am a little person because I'm a person that's little because I'm 3'8". I guess to start off with, I will start with the pros. To many people's surprise, no, life is not just miserable. And what's another word for miserable? Like, it's not... Anyways, there's good things to being this size. I guess, so the first one is, I would say, cheaper clothes, shoes. And I said cheaper, not cheap. Because I think people do have a misconception that, like, kids' clothes are super duper cheap, but it's still pretty pricey for the amount of, like, cloth surface area it's covering. Like, Nike Freeze, my kid size, was $60, so it's not like it's, like, 30 bucks, and a really nice coat for me is about 60 to 80, and a really nice blouse for me is, like, 30, 40, like if I'm getting a top at Bloomingdale's Kids. So, I mean, it's not dirt cheap just because it's kid size, because it is harder to manufacture more compact little clothes for some reason. So that's the first. I mean, it is cheaper. It's not cheap, but it's definitely cheaper than what my friends are spending on boots and coats and stuff like that. And the second pro is that I can squeeze into very tiny spaces, obviously. I don't know if that's a pro, but I'm just going to think of it as a pro because, you know, so in my office at work, the desk it's completely, you know, the leg space is huge. So I'm always like, oh my god, if I brought in a yoga mat and rolled it out, I could totally just, it's like a full-size bed for me under my desk. So, and like the car, if I'm in the back seat, I mean, the whole back seat, if I have it to myself, it's like full body size. I can lay without having to like lean on the window, or, you know, if you're 5 foot something, you can't fit your whole body horizontal laying down. And the third pro is obviously, this is the most common one people will probably guess, is kids pricing. But actually I don't do this often. I do it when I feel like a rebel, which lately isn't a lot. So things like buffets, Disneyland. I did it a lot more often a long time ago, but I don't know, lately I think my integrity is kind of, my conscience is up there, so unless I really feel like I'm getting gypped because of my size. I usually still pay the full price, but yeah, it's mostly, I haven't done it in a while actually, and so if I try to get away with it, I'll just have like whoever I'm with hold my purse. I'll take off my earrings or, like, whatever adult stuff I'm looking, and then wear, like, a hoodie or tie my hair in pigtails really quickly. I don't know. But I try not to do that. It's only when I feel like a rebel because, you know, I'm a working woman. I have money. And then the fourth is being really memorable. So I know it sounds like I'm trying to be vain, but I'm actually not saying that in vanity at all. I'm just saying because of my height, I'm like easily spottable. And then once you see me, you kind of like remember me because there's not that many Asian little people in my area. So I mean that by factual, not like, oh my god, I'm the greatest personality. Like, I'm so memorable and beautiful. No. Although that's nice if you think I am. So it's obviously a pro because when you're memorable, so like let's say I'm often seen as a regular even though I really don't go that much, but even if it's a few times, if you notice, you know, that distinguished tiny little Asian girl coming in to Starbucks or there's a local market around the corner here. It's like a family-owned, small business market. I really don't go there a lot, but every time I do, the owner's there and she knows me because, I don't know, she just knows. So she always gives me discounts and free things, like free dried fruits or an extra Parmesan cheese, which is like $7, extra vegetable, and she just kind of lets it go because I'm seen as a regular, but I don't go that often, and even if I go to like Starbucks every now and then, it's like, it's the same worker, they are going to remember me, so, or like a Taco Bell. Yeah, so because you're very distinguishable, people think, regular, so I do get a lot of free stuff. Which kind of leads to my number 5 pro. The last one is, you do get to kind of abuse your size, and like I said, I try not to, but when I say abuse my size, I'm saying I can kind of get away with some things that I probably wouldn't dare trying if I was like 5'7", not 3'7" or 3'8". And by that I mean things like restaurant lines. I kind of, like, I wouldn't call it egg yolk, but it's just something I think I can get away with versus me being 5'8" and trying to do it like, I don't even want to imitate it here, but if you want to see me in action, you have to take me to dinner. So like cutting lines and asking for deals, I can do it without coming off cheap, kind of, because I try to ask in like a cutesy way, which is, I feel like barfing because I'm really not an egg yolk cutesy person, but I noticed I have been abusing my power a lot lately and getting extra stuff and free stuff and deals, and basically the ability to get away with doing some things is the number 5 pro that I would not dare do if I was like a regular height. I think it's just because people equate tiny with like cute. So like tiny puppies are cute. It's like if a puppy pees in the house and makes a mistake or poops, it's like no matter how much you want to spank it or discipline it, it's like so tiny and cute. Not saying I'm so tiny and cute, but you get my point. I just have I guess I just happen to have more of the balls that I can get away with it. Not saying I am this fluffy ball of cuteness. So, the cons, I tried to name stuff that aren't too obvious. Not like typical things that most of you guys can guess what are cons of being a little person, but more the esoteric cons, I guess, is what I tried to do. So, the first one I would say is, okay, well, this is not esoteric, this is the obvious. Rude people. Sometimes I just want to, like, get a chair and smack somebody in the face because they're so douchey and rude. Like, I'm just going about my day, and you have to say that nasty little comment, point your finger, and whisper to your friend like I'm blind, but I could see you, and kind of like sneer and giggle together, and like you think I don't see you, but I see you. But I don't want to give too much time on my people. They're just idiots. So it's super annoying dealing with that. The second con is staring at butts, especially if, oh my god, what is going on in my Pandora? Especially if you're in like we're in like a social group setting, mostly like a bar or that kind of outer setting. Oh my god, it gets so annoying staring at butts all day, or like in a huge crowd or festivals, places like that. And like if people fart, yes, I'm like first nose to smell it. It's disgusting. So that's super gross. The second is, that was the second. Third con I would say is, it's kind of like staring at butts, but it's communicating with people in this average heighted world. My neck hurts because I'm always like looking up and like, I want to keep eye contact because that's how you communicate with people or directly interact. Like, I don't want to be staring at their, like, yeah. yeah. Or, yeah. So it's really hard. It breaks my neck a lot. I feel like I'm going to get some kind of neck disease. Always looking up. So that's super annoying. That's a con. The fourth one is, so I use this as a pro, but it's also a con. Being memorable. Because you're memorable and you're easily, oh, that girl's been here before and that girl comes here often, or I see her when she comes. I can't do things like tip really badly if I want to come back to that restaurant. Or, I'm never going to do this, but I can't, like, rob a bank. Because, I guess I could. They would first round up, I don't know. I just don't think I can get away with robbing a bank. I'm going to be so easily trackable. Or, like, if I was in a bad mood just that day, and I was kind of being bitchy, and it was their first time meeting me or something like that, it just kind of leaves a really bad impression, and they're just going to associate, oh, that tiny girl that's bitchy with anger issues, like, oh my god, no wonder short temper, blah, blah. So that's not really good. It's like, I would say being memorable in this sense, because of my height, I would say it's both a blessing and a curse. And then lastly, a con of being a little person, at least for me, is because roller coasters. I'm a very, like, adventure, thrilling person. Even though I'm a scaredy cat. I don't know how, but it's contradictory, but I am. I like roller coasters to an extent, but I got made fun of this a long time ago. And it's kind of, I'm 26 now, and I still remember it. I got an email from an anonymous email. I don't even remember it now. It was a super long hate mail, basically. I never to this day found out who wrote it, but in there basically talked about how I was disgusting and needed to die, and I was a disgrace to humankind. And then in that paragraph, the person mentioned things like, and I doubt you really drive. You're such a liar. And you can't even ride roller coasters. Ha ha ha. So, if you're watching this, thank you for ruining my 8th grade year. Whatever grade that was, you bitch. Anyways, I would flick you off right now, but I'll remain. So, yeah, thank you for naming something that I actually can't do. I think that's why it was more scarring, because I really can't ride roller coasters. And I want to. Some of them I can. But I realized, obviously, after getting older, it's not to, make Doris's life miserable that she can't ride the freaking wild thing. It's for safety reasons, like if I ride it. Obviously, when it's flipping over and stuff, I can fall off because I'm not tall enough, and I don't reach, my feet don't reach the ground, and I'm sitting there, so. I totally understand it's about safety, and the rides I can ride, I love to ride them, but it is something that makes me sad. Like, I want to ride the crazy roller coasters, but, life's not always fair, so I get to do other things like squeeze into tiny tunnels that you guys can't, because I'm 3'8", so this kind of went longer than I expected, but I hope that was kind of enlightening on the everyday life of a little person. Please tune in next time. I don't know what I'm going to talk about yet, but I'll keep doing videos like this, whether you like it or not. Goodbye!